Good afternoon, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with students in the 9th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha, says need to strike balance between life skills and professional skills. RBI holds first monetary policy review meeting of 2026, keeps repo rate unchanged at 5.25%. US-Iran hold talks in Oman. Trump warns of strikes on Iran if agreement cannot be reached. India won the toss and elected to bat against England in the Under-19 World Cup final in Harari. Now, as the exam season draws closer, the country's most awaited student-centric dialogue is back to ensure students give exams with confidence and positivity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's unique interactive program with students, Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026, now in its 9th edition, was held today. Addressing the students, Prime Minister stressed that education should not feel like a burden. It needs our total involvement. He added that education in bits and pieces does not ensure success. Instead of focusing on marks, everyone should focus on where they have made it in life. Prime Minister stressed that education is just a medium of development and exams should never be the ultimate goal. Rather, the ultimate goal is all-round development. And during the interaction, Prime Minister students sought advice on a dilemma of balancing board exams and competitive examinations.
मेरा नाम एकम कौर है, मैं पंजाब से आई और मेरा आपसे ये प्रश्न है कि जो 12वीं कक्षा के स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं वो अपने बोर्ड्स के एग्ज़ाम के साथ जो कंपटीशन एग्ज़ाम्स होते हैं उसकी भी तैयारी करते हैं। क्या ये सही है? क्योंकि उन दोनों एग्ज़ाम्स के जो एग्जामिनेशन पैटर्न होता है वो बहुत अलग होता है और वो एग्ज़ाम्स आते भी सेम टाइम पे हैं।
ये चिंता आपकी सही है। एक ही समय में दो मान लीजिए क्रिकेट का खेल खेल रहा है, उसी समय उसको फुटबॉल का भी मैच में जाना है तो उसको लगता है कि मैं क्रिकेट के लिए मेहनत करूं कि फुटबॉल के लिए।
यस सर।
मेरा आग्रह रहेगा तो आपको पहली प्रायोरिटी 12th को देनी पड़ेगी। लेकिन अगर हमने एक विद्यार्थी के रूप में जो मेरे उम्र से मेरे क्लास से जुड़े हुए सिलेबस को आत्मसात किया है तो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम उसके लिए अलग मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी।
यस सर।
ये बाय प्रोडक्ट होगा। कुछ माँ बाप को क्या रहता है, इस उम्र से पहले ये हो जाना चाहिए।
यस सर।
तो मैं माँ बाप से कहूँगा उनकी क्षमता, योग्यता, रुचि के अनुसार कि बच्चों को खिलने दो।
And speaking on the importance of involvement in learning, Prime Minister said the experiences stay memorable only when one is personally engaged and actively participates.
मेरा आपसे ये प्रश्न है कि जैसे हम पढ़ाई करते हैं उस समय पे हमें इधर उधर के बहुत सारे ख्याल आते हैं तो हम फोकस नहीं कर पाते, तो उस समय पे अपने आप को शांत कैसे रखें? क्योंकि हम पढ़ तो लेते हैं लेकिन बहुत जल्दी भूल जाते हैं।
अब जैसे आज यहाँ आप आए हैं, आज से 25 साल के बाद कोई आपको आज के इस कार्यक्रम के विषय में को पूछेगा तो क्या होगा? भूल जाएंगे कि याद रहेगा?
याद रहेगा सर, ये बहुत यादगार रहेगा।
सर ये बहुत स्पेशल मोमेंट है जो हम आपसे मिल रहे हैं।
नहीं, स्पेशल ऐसा नहीं है, आप स्वयं इन्वॉल्व है कि भाई हम घर से जब निकले होंगे ना तब दिमाग में दिल्ली, पीएम के घर, यानी घर में भी फोन कॉल भी किया होगा तो ये नहीं क्या होगा ठंड कितनी है ना, अब अरे कल जा रहा हूँ, सुबह जाना है। इसका मतलब आप पूरी तरह इसमें इन्वॉल्व है कि नहीं है?
यस सर।
इसी के कारण आपको 20 साल 25 साल के बाद भी यहाँ की हर चीज याद रहेगी।
यस सर।
दोस्तों से शेयर करते हो। आप अपने क्लास में अपने से जो कम होशियार जो स्टूडेंट है, ऐसे एक दो को दोस्त बनाए और फिर उसको कहो कि मैं तुम्हें सिखा दूं। अपने से ऊपर का जो स्टूडेंट है, हमसे ज्यादा होशियार है, उसको कहो भाई 5-10 मिनट मेरे साथ बैठो, मुझे बताओ मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ ठीक है क्या, तुम करेक्ट करो, तो हमें डबल फायदा होगा।
यस सर।
जब हम उनका भी ओपिनियन लेते हैं,
हाँ,
फिर हमें और थॉट्स आते हैं कि इसमें और क्या हो सकता है।
तो इससे फायदा होता है,
जी सर।
नए नए आइडियाज आते हैं,
जी सर।
तो आपका मन एकदम खुल जाता।
Speaking on time management, Prime Minister Modi said disciplined use of time can reduce stress and boost efficiency.
सर मैंने लिखा है आई यूज टू बी स्केर्ड ऑफ टाइम मैनेजमेंट बट इट इज़ माई फ्रेंड नाउ। सर मैं बचपन से मतलब मुझे हमेशा घर वाले, स्कूल वाले, दोस्त, मतलब मैंने हमेशा टाइम मैनेजमेंट में ही स्ट्रगल किया है। मुझे हर कोई बोलता है हर काम जल्दी कर, तो टैलेंटेड है, तुझे आइडियाज आते हैं, बट तो टाइम पे नहीं करती है, वही तेरा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। तो सब मैंने एग्जाम वेरियर से सीखा है, मैं रोज सुबह जल्दी उठूंगी।
मैं एक सिंपल और रास्ता बताता हूँ। रात को आप जब सो जाए ना, उसके पहले डायरी में लिखो कि कल मुझे जो बिल्कुल करने ही करने ऐसे कौन से काम, और दूसरा फिर आज जो लिखा है तो दूसरे दिन टैली करो हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, और टिक मार करो। कल मैंने लिखा था कि मैं आज 5 काम करूं, लेकिन 3 ही किया, तो टिक मार करो, 2 रह गए। फिर सोचो 2 कौन रह गए। मैंने दोस्तों के साथ फोन पे ज्यादा बात कर ली, एक टीवी सीरियल था तो मैं 30 मिनट उसमें लगा दिया, तो आपको खुद को लगेगा हाँ ये मैं समय बचा सकता। कभी कभी क्या होता है, हमें पता ही नहीं होता है कि हम समय कैसे बर्बाद करते हैं। जीवन में अगर टाइम मैनेजमेंट सीख ली और समय का प्रोडक्टिव यूज सीख लिया, तो आप देखिए आप कभी भी प्रेशर नहीं लगेगा, थकान नहीं लगेगी। अब जैसे मैं हूँ, इतने सारे काम होते हैं, लेकिन मुझे टेंशन नहीं है, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत पहले से ही एक प्रकार से समय का सही उपयोग करने की आदत बन गई।
Let's now take forward the conversation on Pariksha Pe Charcha. Joining me is DD India correspondent Saurabh Datta, joining us live from Kolkata. Also, let me welcome Neha Sharma, Principal, APJ School, Noida. Neha ma'am, let me come to you first. We can all recall and relate to the pressures on students during exams. I'll confess, I feel a little nervous talking to a principal. What ideas stood out for you in this edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha?
See, I really like the way, the examples were given to the children by our dear PM. For one very simple reason that, when we give things, when we give them ideas through examples, it helps them understand it better. And at the same time, it makes it more relatable to them. I liked the way the time management point was taken up, the way they were told that how to work on a to-do list, and mind it that this is not just for this exam that they have learned this lesson. This lesson is going to stay with them for life. And the best part is this, that this whole thing was something as if, an elderly person from your family is reaching out to you, right. He's guiding you, he's helping you understand the whole thing and making you feel relaxed and anxiety-free. So that's what I really liked about this.
Right, ma'am. Just that point that many of these ideas of tackling pressure are not really new, but the manner in which Prime Minister presents it and the fact that the Prime Minister is engaging with the student makes the experience special.
Absolutely, and I think that is what every child who might have watched this edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha today will take. This is going to stay with that child through and through. And the best part is this, that, this experience is something every year I've been watching it right from its first edition, and this is the 9th edition this time.
Right.
And every year it is evolving, it is getting more kind of relatable, more, real for the children. And of course, there are lots of, so this is the time when children are actually anxious. I'm also part of CBSE's board helpline, the helpline that helps children before the exams and takes their queries and all. So anxiety at this point of time is real. Children are terrified, I must say, as to how we are going to do. They might have prepared the entire year long, but at this point, the pressure is so much that they start feeling as if they don't know anything. And this anxiety, when it starts taking over, when it takes over, that is something, even if they have prepared themselves well, they start feeling that, oh, I won't be able to perform as much as I've prepared for during the examination when the paper comes. So this is the time we always say that, if you are calm, if you stay calm, if you stay, in your normal self, you'll be able to, your recall will definitely be better, and you'll be able to do your paper much better when you actually get it in your hand. And we also
Right.
give them things, tips and all, which PM Modi ji has also said that, create a balance. If there's a balance between eating right, sleeping and studying, and of course taking breaks in between, this is what is going to help you through this whole process.
Right. Let me get some updates from the ground as well. DD India correspondent Saurabh Datta joins us from Kolkata. Saurabh, give us a sense of how Prime Minister's message, his advice on exams, on life at large, was received by the youngsters.
Shubhendu, from today's morning, we have visited so many schools in the city, and that a single sentiment emerged from the students from today's Pariksha Pe Charcha. They are saying that to reduce mental pressure, the classroom of Pariksha Pe Charcha is really helpful. Specifically, they mentioned one remark that made PM, that marks on a mark sheet are important, but the mark sheet is not the final word in life. In today's 57-minute speech, this one message from the Prime Minister resonate with the students the most. Beyond these issues like maintaining balance, as ma'am said, that issuing balance between sleeping, studying, that is also so they are saying that this is something often they face such situations, and besides that they realizing after today's class that one's hidden dream is what truly matters. To follow the dreams, when the program is going on, one student asking that he wants to become a great gamer. So like this example that influences the students. They are saying that to chasing dream is also very important, and as well as they are saying that much confusion after today's class taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they say that much of their confusion about what to do in life has been cleared away after today.
Right. Neha ma'am, at a time when students would be more concerned about remembering a mathematical formula or a history chapter, Prime Minister talks about cooking skills, about making one's way through a railway station, about life skills and balancing them with professional skills. How do you see the significance of this emphasis on sort of holistic development for youngsters?
So, this is something we all try to tell children that, it's not just the marks that matter. What matters really is the skills that you're developing through the process. And if it is coming from someone like the Prime Minister himself, definitely it is going to stay as a very important lesson with the child, because when you're growing up, you realize that it's not just about what you have learned as a formula or as an equation that you'll be using in life. It's implementation, the skills that you have learned through the journey. And say, for example, if I say that if you ask a child that if there are certain ingredients that are put in cooking, we are taking cooking as an example for the reason that because it was picked during Pariksha Pe Charcha today. And if we ask them that chemically tell the significance of these ingredients, most of the children won't be able to do that. But then if the child understands that real life connect with their studies, for sure that is going to stay with them throughout. And also what is important is that life skills stay. These are, you know, the skills that are transferable. They can be used anywhere and everywhere in life. They are not just related to a particular subject or a domain or a discipline. So if you learn these kind of skills, that'll help you definitely excel well in life, and at the same time you will be successful wherever you go if your life skills are in place.
Right. And ma'am, finally, if you look at this interaction in a little larger context, the interaction becomes meaningful in the context of India's demographic advantage as well. A young population working towards building their future and also shaping the destiny of the nation.
Yes, and I feel that what you just pointed out is holding lots of significance for the reason that, you know, right now we are living in a hookah world, which is very uncertain, which is something that nobody can predict how the tomorrow will be. And if our children get fixated to a particular subject or a domain, they may not be able to tackle with the challenges that the life may throw later. And we want each and every child of ours to be successful. We need more of creators, we need more of entrepreneurs, we need children, you know, doing things which are beyond 9 to 5 job. And for that, these skills are very valuable. And also, as you rightly pointed out, that we are a big demography, and at the same time it is very varied also. So there are areas, there are domains that the children, if their life skills are in place, will be able to explore confidently, and for sure will be able to make their mark and be successful in any domain that they choose for themselves. And for sure this is going to generate more job opportunities, more employment opportunities, and for sure better and successful in the, a child who will be successful tomorrow.
On that note, many thanks, Neha ma'am, for joining us on DD India and sharing your perspective. Thank you also to Saurabh for getting us those inputs from Kolkata.
Thank you.
Earlier, DD India correspondent Saurabh Datta visited a school to talk to the students about Prime Minister Modi's advice. They believed that it is extremely effective in reducing mental pressure during exams. Let's listen in.
The Prime Minister replied with really sincerity. He said that there's a balance which is required in the life of students. A student life is supposed to be balanced, because as if the pillars will be of equal measurements, then only the building will sustain. In the similar way, a student's life will also sustain if the balance is maintained. So this was the best part of today, and of course him encouraging us to ask, encouraging the students to ask questions, him replying, and the students being so open with him. This was the best part which
I think this is an excellent initiative taken up by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. And as Shrestha also said just now, that our Prime Minister taking his time out from the busy schedule to encourage and to motivate our young generation is really great. And I think only Modi ji can do this thing. This is really great. So I salute him for this. I think this will make our children very, very confident, mentally very strong, which is very much needed, particularly at this moment. Marks is definitely important, but it is not everything. It is not the be-all and end-all of life.
The High Commission of India in Dhaka hosted a live screening of Prime Minister Modi's interaction with students during the 9th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026. During the session, Prime Minister highlighted the importance of time management and encouraged students to face exams with confidence and a positive mindset, treating them as opportunities for learning rather than reason for stress. On to some other stories now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a 2-day official visit to Malaysia on Saturday. During the visit, Prime Minister of India and Malaysia will hold bilateral discussions to review the progress under Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Malaysia will be his third visit to the Southeast Asian nation and the first since Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's state visit to India in August 2024, when bilateral ties were elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership. With a diverse agenda on the table, the visit will set the roadmap for future engagement between the two nations.
PM will hold bilateral discussions with the Prime Minister of Malaysia. They will review progress under the India-Malaysia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, especially in priority areas of cooperation such as trade, investments, defense, security, semiconductors, digital technologies, renewable energy, education, healthcare, and people-to-people exchanges.
The 10th meeting of the India-Malaysia CEOs Forum will also take place in Kuala Lumpur. Prime Minister will interact with leading Malaysian CEOs from key sectors. Malaysia is India's third largest trading partner in ASEAN, with bilateral trade valued at around $20 billion.
On the investment front, our engagement is strong and is growing steadily. Major Malaysian investors like Petronas, Khazanah, IHH Healthcare, IJM Corporation, United Engineers, UEM, etc. have a strong presence in India, while over 200 Indian companies, including 61 joint ventures and 3 Indian PSUs, including those in IT and ITES, manufacturing, construction, and pharmaceuticals, are actively operating in Malaysia.
Digital cooperation and semiconductors will be a key highlight of the visit.
The NPCI is set to sign an agreement with PayNet during the course of the visit. So that will be one of the outcomes expected from the visit. We are in the process of establishing a multi-layered collaboration arrangement through a G2G MOU, semiconductor, industry-led collaborations, and also R&D, both in terms of setting up fabrication centers, also assembly testing centers, etc. Our companies are also interested in collaborating with Malaysia on that.
Prime Minister will also interact with members of the Indian community in Malaysia. At 2.9 million, the Indian diaspora is among the largest overseas and is all set to welcome the Indian Prime Minister.
We are performing Kathak dance, so we are very excited. In fact, we are feeling very proud as a Malaysian to invite him and showing the Indian dance form to him, presenting it. It's a big opportunity for us, so we are very happy. I think we are very excited to show the unity that we have here and the connection from cultural viewpoint with India, and it's exciting that the Prime Minister itself is coming here to witness it.
We are going to be performing different dance forms, so you can see Odissi, Bharatnatyam, Kathak. We are the Kathak group, and we're going to all perform together on a singular song, showing the different variations that we have in the Indian culture, how different dance forms come together to form this beautiful united country called India. We are very excited to welcome Mr. Narendra Modi, and I hope you like the performance.
This visit underlines India's strong commitment to Malaysia, a key partner in India's Act East policy, Vision Mahasagar, as well as a very important partner in India's broader vision of the Indo-Pacific. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's this visit to Malaysia will not only deepen cooperation in traditional areas, but also new and emerging areas of cooperation, and will also pave way for future cooperation between both the nations. With camera person Vinay and my colleague Shailendra Mishra, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, held its first monetary policy review meeting of the year 2026. RBI has kept the key policy rate, that's repo rate, unchanged at 5.25%. In this monetary policy easing cycle, the central bank has cut the repo rate by a cumulative 125 basis points or 1.25%, making loan EMIs cheaper. Consumer price index inflation has been benign, hitting its lowest level in this data series in October last year. RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra said the GDP growth has beaten all expectations so far this fiscal. He added that India is set to grow at over 7%, retaining its tag of being the world's fastest growing major economy.
The Indian economy continues on a steady improving trajectory, with real GDP poised to register significant higher growth of 7.4% this year as compared to the previous year. Amidst global headwinds, the MPC therefore was of the view that the current policy rate is appropriate, and accordingly it voted to continue with the existing policy rate. It also agreed to retain the neutral stance.
And the RBI governor reiterated the proactive approach to liquidity management, highlighting steps taken in recent months to maintain ample liquidity. With bond yields hardening, he said central bank has signalled vigilance in ensuring adequate system liquidity while factoring in the forex operations and government cash balances.
We will continue to provide sufficient liquidity with an aim that the monetary policy transmission happens in all markets. If you look at the net numbers, 11.53 lakh crore is the number for this year, government securities borrowing program. Next year it is projected, it is budgeted to be 11.73 lakh crore. I think, the kind of numbers, the borrowing program that the government is looking is much on the lower side, and they should be able to raise these kind of resources at very reasonable prices.
And for a perspective on RBI decisions, DD India correspondent Shama Mishra joins us live from Mumbai with an eminent member from the industry. Over to you, Shama.
Well, Shubhendu, we have seen today that the markets as well as the industry leaders, they were expecting that there will be no change in today's monetary policy. When the governor announced it, it was on expected lines that at 5.25%, the RBI maintained status quo. However, the thrust or the emphasis of governor in his statement was more on how robust the Indian economy is. And when we are talking about Indian economy, the projection, the GDP growth projection remains at 7%, which is a good sign. Apart from that, he has also spoken about various trade deals, that the prospective trade deals as well as the deals that has already happened. Let's talk to Sunita Ramnathkar. She's the president of IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ma'am, was this policy on expected lines? And if so, what do you make of it?
Yes, it is expected. Actually, our economy right now is robust. We are resilient. And with all the trade deals signed with different countries, we are expecting a great growth. 7% is what everybody is saying, but I feel it will be more than 7%, 7.5, 7.8. Having said that, the interest rate remains at 5.25, which is very good. We don't need to change at all, and so does a governor doesn't think we need to. The world is at a chaos, but India is at this moment growing. I feel the liquidity is also released for the MSMEs and for digital protection. Now, these two are very important, and this is where liquidity was needed, and it has been done. So, we are all in all very satisfied at the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Also, ma'am, this time around, the Reserve Bank of India has taken a number of measures to protect the people, the consumers, from the online fraudulent activities. We were always speaking how, there are so many preventive measures, but once the money goes, nothing is, basically your money cannot be recovered. But this time around, a big decision has been taken on it.
Yes. Now they are saying that the money will come back. And this gives a lot of relief to many people who have already lost their money. But education is going on. Even at our level in IMC, we are holding different programs. The ladies wing is holding different programs in various clubs of Mumbai and other places in Maharashtra to educate the women on how to not fall in for this digital crime. Now, this was very important because the clubs have the elitist of people, and these people are constantly trained by the IMC staff time and again as to the dangers of this digital fraud. So, any help in this is very welcome. Thank you.
Also, ma'am, when we are talking about these FTAs and the prospective deals, we also have to say that this will bring a great deal for Indian exports. How do you see the ones that have already happened and the ones we are about to crack? How do you see these deals going forward, fueling India's economy?
See, the one that was first done with the UAE chambers, the SEPA, that's already gone to 100 billion in exports. So it is very, very good. It's in the right direction. Now, the consequent deals have happened, and they will give good results as we go on. But with the help of the Export Ministry and the Government of India, we have cracked many deals with the EU, with UK, which are the major economies. And once these deals are started operational, it'll give a good boost to our exports. Also, we cracked the American tariff, which is a big boost to us, and 20% of our exports were to America. Like it or not, it was affecting us, and now we see a ray of sunshine through this.
All right. A ray of sunshine, Shubhendu, from the chambers, they are saying, and this is also seen largely by all the industry leaders and even the markets, that India is definitely in a sweet spot, and as Governor has also time and again mentioned that India still continues to remain a sweet destination for FDIs. With these deals in place,
Right.
or even the prospective deals in place, India will once again attract the international, the FDIs, the FIIs, and we are already strong. We are going to be further strengthening our economy. Shubhendu.
There, Pariksha Sharma is joining us with those updates from Mumbai. Still to come on DD India Newshour. Amit Shah to hold high-level security review meet in Jammu and Kashmir. Seychelles President on a visit to India participates in maritime seminar in Chennai.
Food systems contribute to a third of global planet warming emission. In today's episode, let's take a look at what happens when food systems stop working for everyone.
After Hatibandhu arrived, we discussed as a village the challenge that we were facing. And we came to the conclusion that we should sow some crops, especially for the elephants.
The Meramo Cafe is basically promoting the circular economy. So there's not much transportation involved in that process. So this is one way that we are reducing the carbon emission from that point of view.
Is probably laughing because despite the fact that they're cleaning up other people's problems for free, it seems like nobody here actually wants them to be doing it.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's move on. Seychelles President Dr. Patrick Hamini, who is on a visit to India, participated in a seminar on international maritime routes on Friday in Chennai. The event at Anna University was attended by Prakash Mishra, Joint Secretary, NCSCM, and Marie-May Jami, Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Energy of Seychelles, along with senior officials and experts from maritime and environmental sectors. To commemorate and celebrate 50 years of the long-standing and cordial diplomatic relationship between India and Seychelles, President of Seychelles, along with his wife, Veronique Hamini, is on a 6-day state visit to India. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, on Friday addressed the inaugural India-EU Forum. The minister highlighted that FTA has been a game-changing development for India-EU partnership. External Affairs Minister also flagged other dimensions that hold great potential, including security, defense, climate, technology and talent flows. He hoped that India-EU Forum promotes more conversations and creates greater convergences between India and the European Union. President Draupadi Murmu is on a visit to Odisha. On Friday, she interacted with tribal residents at the Simlipalli Tiger Reserve of Mayurbhanj district. Her interaction centered on issues such as women's and youth livelihoods, the role of local communities in conserving forests, as well as education, skill development, ongoing development programs. In her address, President underscored government initiatives in sectors like education, health and transportation, emphasizing that people in the region are already benefiting from these schemes. India's Home Minister Amit Shah is currently on a 2-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir. On Friday, during his address, Home Minister applauded the BSF's role during Operation Sindoor.
अभी ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में बीएसएफ के 100 ईयर वीरता एक प्रकार से 6 दशक के इतिहास में स्वर्णिम अध्याय बनकर रहा है। उस कठिन घड़ी में भी आप सभी ने हम सीमा के प्रहरी है ये भाव को हमेशा के लिए उज्जवल रखा और बुलंद रखा।
In the ongoing budget session of Parliament in the upper house of the Rajya Sabha during question hour, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav answered questions regarding non-stoppage of trains at Tirur railway station.
बारामुल्ला वाली लाइन है श्रीनगर से बारामुल्ला की लाइन से कनेक्ट होते हुए 2-3 प्रोजेक्ट्स की पहले एक प्रस्ताव आया था। उन प्रोजेक्ट्स पे सर्वे चालू हुआ था, पहलगाम के लिए था, 2 प्रोजेक्ट और थे और उसमें जो एप्पल के ऑर्चर्ड्स पे जो इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा था और किसानों और जो एप्पल के फार्मर्स हैं उनकी तरफ से जो एक तरीके से सबकी इच्छा थी कि रेलवे मेन लाइन को ही बनाए रखें, उसके बाद में किसानों की बात भी सुनी गई और रजौरी पूंछ की लाइन के लिए बहुत तेज़ी से आगे सर्वे का काम भी चल रहा है जिससे कि पूरा बॉर्डर एरिया जो है वो सारा कनेक्ट हो जाए।
Lok Sabha or the lower house was adjourned multiple times due to uproar from the opposition. The Speaker of the House warned the MPs that the House cannot function in such a situation. In other news, at least 18 miners were killed in a blast and several others feared trapped in an illegal coal mining site in Meghalaya's East Jaintia Hills district on Thursday, prompting the government to order an investigation. Preliminary reports indicate the blast was caused by a high-intensity dynamite explosion used for mining activities. The explosion triggered the collapse of adjoining mine shafts, trapping workers deep underground and raising fears of further casualties. Rescue and search operations are underway with National Disaster Response Force team arrived at the blast site to carry out rescue and recovery efforts following the explosion. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma said strict action will be taken against individuals involved in any kind of illegal activities.
We had a very tragic incident that took place in East Jaintia Hills where a dynamite explosion had occurred at an illegal coal mine in Minsingot, Thangsko area in East Jaintia Hills. As per the current reports, about 18 people are reported dead because of this blast. One person is injured and has been shifted to the Yalong Civil Hospital.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief over the loss of lives in Meghalaya mishap. In a social media post, Prime Minister says, and I quote, "Condolences to those who lost their loved ones. May the injured recover at the earliest. An ex gratia of rupees 2 lakhs from PM NRF would be given to the next of kin of each deceased. The injured would be given rupees 50,000, unquote. India is moving ahead with its ambitious human spaceflight and lunar mission plans. ISRO is preparing a series of key missions over the next few years. Speaking in Pimpri Chinchwad, Maharashtra, ISRO Chairman V. Narayanan said that Gaganyaan program is targeted for 2027 with 3 uncrewed missions. He added that Chandrayaan 4 and Chandrayaan 5 are planned as crewed missions and are expected by 2028 if everything goes as planned.
With the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, we are working for the Gaganyaan program, and the Gaganyaan program is targeted in the year 2027, and 3 uncrewed missions are to happen, and we are working towards that. Chandrayaan 4 and Chandrayaan 5, both the programs are approved programs, and it goes as planned, as targeted, 2028 time frame it will happen.
With New Delhi set to host the India AI Impact Summit 2026, spotlight is firmly back on artificial intelligence as over 6 million are employed in tech and artificial intelligence ecosystem. AI is becoming vital for Indian startups. The government's initiatives like India AI Mission have helped boost innovation in the field. Here's more.
From boosting workers' productivity to providing data-driven services, artificial intelligence is revolutionizing India's startup ecosystem. According to government data, over 6 million people are employed in the tech and AI ecosystem. India hosts more than 1,800 global capability centers, including over 500 focused on AI. Nearly 89% of newly launched startups used AI in their products or services. Leading sectors in AI adoption include consumer goods, retail, financial services, insurance, and healthcare. A Stanford University survey ranked India third globally in artificial intelligence competitiveness based on growth and innovation metrics. The government's India AI mission and the AI Centers of Excellence initiatives are at the heart of this transformation, making AI affordable and accessible. Launched in 2024, India AI Mission marks a defining step towards making India a global leader in artificial intelligence. It's building a comprehensive ecosystem that drives innovation, supports startups, and ensures the responsible use of AI for the public good. From an initial target of 10,000 graphics processing units or GPUs, India now has 38,000 GPUs, providing affordable access to world-class AI resources. A GPU is a specialized electronic circuit that can process many pieces of data simultaneously. To encourage research-driven innovation, the government has also set up AI centers of excellence in key sectors like healthcare, agriculture, and sustainable cities. These centers serve as collaborative spaces for academia, industry, and government institutions. For startups, artificial intelligence has become a trusted digital companion. Be it customer support or analytics, AI is helping startups innovate faster while cutting costs. Bureau Report, DD India.
Let's turn to international news. Iran and United States began talks on Friday in Oman over Tehran's nuclear program. Earlier in the day, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met his Omani counterpart Sayed Badr bin Ahmad Al Busaidi. Both leaders discussed the important bilateral, regional and international issues. Meanwhile, on Thursday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt warned Iran and said Trump has many options at his disposal aside from diplomacy. While these negotiations are taking place, she says, I would remind the Iranian regime that President has many options at his disposal besides diplomacy as the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the history of the world. And let's talk about Russia-Ukraine conflict. The second round of US-brokered talks between Russia and Ukraine concluded in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, on Thursday, with both sides agreeing to a large-scale prisoner exchange, but failing to achieve substantive breakthroughs on core issues such as territorial arrangements and a ceasefire. The talks ended with no joint political or security statement, underscoring persistent differences between Russia and Ukraine on key matters, including territorial disputes, ceasefire arrangements and security guarantees. Ukraine President Zelensky also said on Thursday that next peace talks with the delegations of the US and Russia will be held soon. However, no timetable or arrangements for a next round of talks were announced, highlighting continued uncertainty in the political settlement process. US President Trump on Thursday rejected an offer from his Russian counterpart to voluntarily extend the caps on strategic nuclear weapons deployments after a treaty that held them in check for more than 2 decades expired. On a Truth Social platform, US President writes, and I quote, rather than extend, we start a new treaty. Should have our nuclear experts work on a new, improved and modernized treaty that can last long into the future. Trump's post was in response to a proposal by Russian President Putin for the sides to adhere to a year to 2010 Accords limit to 1,550 warheads on 700 delivery systems, missiles, aircraft and submarines. In his post, Trump called New START a badly negotiated deal that he said is being grossly violated. 12 people were arrested on Thursday while protesting outside United States Columbia University, where professors, students and supporters staged a sit-in against US immigration and customs enforcement. Demonstrators briefly blocked traffic on the street, protesting against immigration and customs enforcement. Protesters accused the university of cooperating with ICE and called for the campus to be declared a sanctuary. A spokesperson for the Student Workers of Columbia Union said Recent ICE actions on the campus had created fear and reiterated calls for the university to change policing practices and adopt a sanctuary designation. US President Trump has endorsed Japan's Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi ahead of snap elections in Japan on Sunday. The US President wrote on Truth Social that Takaichi has already proven to be a strong, powerful and wise leader, one that truly loves the country. He added that Prime Minister Takaichi is someone who deserves powerful recognition for the job she and her coalition are doing. She will not let people of Japan down. Japan will go for snap elections on Sunday, where Takaichi is expected to win. And Thailand votes on Sunday in a tightly contested election that pits popular reformist forces against conservatives, with former leader Thaksin Shinawatra still a looming influence from prison. The country's next government faces pressing challenges, including a long-standing border dispute with Cambodia, persistent transnational cybercrimes, and sluggish economic growth. No party is expected to win an outright majority, raising the prospect of coalition negotiations. Previously, Reformist People's Party won the most votes and seats, but its prime ministerial candidate was blocked. The party was later dissolved. Thaksin's Pheu Thai party, which came second, formed a coalition with conservatives Bum Jatai. The current Prime Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, was appointed in September, marking Thailand's third Prime Minister in 2 years. Thailand's political history remains turbulent, shaped by coups, protests and judicial bans. Indonesia and Australia on Friday signed a new security treaty, pledging to consult one another if either nation comes under threat. The announcement came after Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto met with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in Jakarta. The treaty is modelled on a 1995 security agreement between the two countries, which was later withdrawn in 1999, when Australia led a United Nations peacekeeping mission in East Timor, following violent unrest during its push for independence from Indonesia. Both leaders agreed on the security pact, saying it signaled that relations between Australia and Indonesia are stronger than ever.
Today I was delighted to sign this treaty with Bapak President, a historic moment in our nation's relationship and recognition that the best way to secure peace and stability in our region is by acting together. This agreement signals that Australia and Indonesia's relationship is stronger than it has ever been. The fact that we are signing this treaty today is testament to President Prabowo's strong leadership and his personal commitment to promoting security in our region and indeed around the world.
Today, Prime Minister Albanese and I re-emphasize our strong cooperation and commitment to strengthen the Indonesia-Australia partnership through the signing of our joint security treaty. This agreement mirrors our will to keep working together closely in safeguarding our individual national security, as well as a real contribution to the peace and stability of the Indo-Pacific.
Still to come on DD India Newshour. The 2026 Winter Olympics is set for star-studded opening ceremony at San Siro Stadium today as Olympic flame reached Milan. And Josh Hazlewood ruled out of the T20 World Cup after failing to recover from a hamstring injury.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Europe's gas storage has dropped to its lowest level since 2022, with a harsh winter driving demand sharply higher. The decline has pushed gas prices to a 10-month high this week. For more, we are joined by DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbello in Berlin. Chipondu, where do the European gas storage levels currently stand?
Thanks for having me. Well, the cold weather has been eating up Europe's gas reserves, and here in Germany, it is the coldest winter in 16 years for many parts of the country, much like it is elsewhere on the continent. And that is why European households and businesses are using more heat, most of which comes from gas. So that partly explains why we have seen the European gas storage levels fall to their lowest level for this time of the year in around half a decade. But there's also another reason for the low gas storage levels. EU countries began with fewer stockpiles than in previous winters. So European storage tanks are now at 43% of capacity. Now the bloc would have needed around 10 dozen full-sized cargoes worth of gas last month to get to the level it was at this point of last year in winter.
Chiponda, thank you for those inputs. You're watching DD India News Hour. Time now for all the action from sports. India got off to a flying start after skipper Ayush Matre won the toss and elected to bat against England in the Under-19 World Cup finals in Harari. Opener Vaibhav Suryavanshi slammed a swashbuckling century and added 142 runs for the second wicket with Matre after Aaron George was dismissed cheaply. India were 213 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 22 overs. India are playing an unchanged side while England replace Alex French and Alex Green. So far, both teams are unbeaten in this tournament. India have clinched the trophy 5 times and finished runners-up in 2024 against Australia. Meanwhile, England chased their second title and their first since 1998. ICC T20 World Cup 2026 is set to thrill cricket fans with exciting matches. Team India are the defending champions and will start their title defence against the US in Mumbai. But what is the mood of cricket fans in the city? Let's find out from DD India correspondent Gaurav Kumar, who brings us this special report from Mumbai.
Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium is ready to host Team India's opening match of the T20 World Cup. This iconic venue has been witness to many memorable Indian victories in the past and is now set to add another chapter. India will take on United States at the Wankhede Stadium on Saturday. Even though the opponent is USA, the excitement in Mumbai is at its peak. Some fans are eagerly waiting for a blazing knock from Abhishek Sharma, while others are simply desperate to be part of another Team India victory.
I think it's really exciting because I'll be seeing USA play in India for the first time. Though it looks very Indianized because आधे Indian ही players लगते हैं, but it's very exciting.
It's a very good feeling that the World Cup is happening in India again, and this time hopefully again we are going to lift that trophy and we're going to be the defending champions again.
A strong turnout of spectators is expected at the stadium for this match. According to Mumbai Cricket Association President Ajinkya Nayak, the current form and the composition of the Team India is a major reason behind the growing excitement.
मुंबई क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन ऐसे बड़े मैचेस ऐसे बड़े इवेंट्स करने के लिए पहले से ही प्रोएक्टिव है. एज अ टीम हम लोग ने पूरी तैयारी की है. मुंबई पुलिस हो गए, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, सब लोग हम लोग एक पेज पे, और ये कैसे हम अच्छे से माइक्रो लेवल पे प्लानिंग कर सकते हैं और ये अच्छे से मैच कैसे हो सकती है. क्रिकेट फैंस के हिसाब से हमने सोचा है कि इजी मूवमेंट ऑफ इन एंड एग्जिट हो गया, फ्री ड्रिंकिंग वाटर हो गया, बाकी जो साफ़ सुथरापन होना है, टॉयलेट्स है, खाना पीना, और फैंस कैसे ये गेम एंजॉय कर सकते हैं उसकी सब सुख सुविधा हम लोग ने MCA करके प्लान की है.
India have played 6 T20 international at the Wankhede Stadium so far, winning 4 and losing 2. Scores of over 200 have been recorded 5 times at this venue, while the 180 mark has been crossed on 5 occasions. The highest score here is 247 runs made by India against England.
Indian team is all set to give a good produce over here in Wankhede Stadium. But the main thing is that what the Mumbaikas are finding out in Indian team. They all are set and they want a great inning from Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, and also a great bowling from Bumrah and Hardik Pandya. With cameraman S. Jashankar Prasad, this is Gaurav Kumar reporting from Mumbai, India.
From cricket to Olympics, 2026 Winter Olympics is set for a star-studded opening ceremony at the San Siro Stadium today as the Olympic flame reached Milan in Italy. The Games, co-hosted by Cortina Ampezzo, will start with a 3-hour extravaganza and conclude on 22nd February. This is for the first time that nearly 2,900 athletes will parade in the venues closest to where they will compete in a bid to minimize travel. This will be the 4th Winter Olympics to be hosted by Italy. In a major setback to an already depleted Australian side, their premier pacer Josh Hazlewood was ruled out of the T20 World Cup after failing to recover from a hamstring injury. Australia has decided not to name any replacement for the 35-year-old bowler. It was earlier stated that Cricket Australia that Hazlewood would be able to join the squad during the middle and later stages of the tournament, beginning on Saturday, and to be played at venues across India and Sri Lanka. Nathan Ellis and Tim David are on track to be available for the group stage, while Adam Zampa will be available for the first match in Colombo. Australia will play their 4 preliminary games in Colombo and Palakkale. And that's all in this edition of DD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.